In my previous video, we talked about the cost of living in one of the most expensive cities in the world, that is Singapore. Now, something that is very important to consider is the fact that cost of living is just one of the variables when it comes to choosing where you want to live. Of course, I'm not only referring to personal, individual necessities and preferences. For example, your proximity to your family, or the type of job you're gonna be doing, the type of entertainment and activities you get, etc. But also from a monetary perspective. Now, cost of living is very, very important, but you should always remember to put that into perspective together with your income. Yeah, because that is the other part of the equation. Now, if you were to ask me how I would evaluate my next destination, I would definitely look at my earning potential and then at the cost of living. Someone commented in my video about cost of living in Singapore that other countries such as Holland, Switzerland, France, etc. are very, very expensive. And that is true. Many places in the world are expensive. Many cities are. New York, Singapore, Hong Kong, London, you name it really. There is a plethora of those. But the real difference comes when you look at how much money you can earn in each of these countries. So why does this matter? Let's take two different examples. Say that you're living in Singapore and New York for simplicity, and your monthly expenditure is exactly the same. You're spending, say, $10,000 in each of these two places. Okay, now take your income. On average, you have higher salaries in New York for exactly the same profession. So say that in New York you're making $20,000 a month. Again, you can choose Singapore dollars, US dollars, doesn't matter. But in Singapore, you're making $15,000 a month. Now, in terms of savings, right, you will have $10,000 a month in New York, right, because you make $20,000 a month and you spend $10,000 a month, so total savings of 10,000. And in Singapore, you would have total savings of $5,000 a month, which means half of it, right? Again, why $5,000 a month? Because you make $15,000 a month and you spend $10,000 a month. Yeah, so the difference is 5K. So overall, according to this random example, you are much better off in New York over Singapore, or else being equal, of course. This is a very, very simple scenario. I'm going to share with you an example from my own experience. Lots of people were questioning my idea of moving to Switzerland when I was younger, and that was because of the cost of living of Switzerland. Everyone knows that Switzerland is a very, very expensive place to be in, especially in the major cities like Geneva or Zurich. That makes a lot of sense, and that is actually true. Now, when you compare with your average income potential in those places, say Geneva or Zurich, actually you're much better off in terms of savings compared to almost anywhere else in the world. That is why taking into consideration not only the cost of living, but also how much money you're gonna make actually gives you a full picture of how much money you will ultimately be able to save, which is so important because your savings can turn into investments, your investments can grow over time, or at least that's the goal, right? So I wanted to make this very small video to clarify something that is just so important, but a lot of people forget to take into account. So I hope I helped you get a different perspective on such a controversial but important topic. Let me know what you think. Is your earning potential as important as cost of living when choosing where you want to live in?